Well, first of all, most of everybody knows me as a dance mom, but I am also a prison mom. I went through a journey that I wouldn't wish on anybody. My son, Farron, this is Farron, did many years incarcerated and all of his adult life till age 31. And I visited, I wrote letters, but I was heartbroken the whole time and always worried.
I know it was a difficult journey, but what was the most difficult part of the journey?
Wow,
And sorry, Mom, for being a bad
for
kid.
being a bad kid.
Okay.
Okay, the hardest part was I was teaching dance at the dance studio in Placentia, and I'm minding my own business. We're rocking out, and Marche, Farron's brother, came knocking on the door. Mom, the police are here. Well, apparently they had all their guns down on Marche, thinking Marche was Farron, and wanted to take Marche into custody. He's like, hold on, So anyway, they came in. I had to go talk to them, and they were very adamant that I had to give you up. They said, we know Farron's at your house, and you had just come to visit that day and you were sick and I hadn't seen you in a long time and I was just oh my heart I said let me go teach class, I'll get back. And so they convinced me, otherwise I'd go to jail. I had to give you up. So they came barreling in the apartment, you were asleep, and grabbed you and threw you, and oh my god, it was absolutely horrible. So that was the worst part, like a mother to have to give up her firstborn to the police. And then I think the second thing was they wanted me to get on the stand and point you out. And, they had this film of you, a burglary in a liquor store. And
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly had a film of me.
They showed Farron. Yeah, that wasn't Farron. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
How do you put a mom on the witness stand?
A wife can technically not don't has to take the stand against her husband. Why wouldn't they extend that same privilege to a mom?
Yeah, moms.
It should be even harder for a mom to have to testify against her child than a wife to the husband.
Right. And the defense attorney, before the trial or the court date that I had to go and testify against you, she was like, your son is a bad person.
It was the prosecutor.
I mean, the prosecutor. So, excuse me. The prosecutor. Your son's a bad person. He needs to be off the street. He needs to do life in prison. You were 19 at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And right then I went, no. So that was hard. And then I think
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
And we said that she got on the stand against me. You didn't actually get on the stand against me. You got on the stand and you kept it real to the best of your understanding. But what they really wanted was for my mom to just accuse me.
Yeah.
That's
Farron. That's Farron.
Yeah.
That's Farron. All those videos.
And they were very manipulative about how they went about that process. But my mom did good. She got on the stand. She held it down. She kept it solid. Based on her integrity.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because that.
But I was shaking, and I was honestly I was a little bit angry, I'm put in this position, but they were so intimidating. And then you served your time, and I wrote letters and I prison visits, and then about 6.5 years in, they recruited Farron to fight fire, which I didn't know was a thing. They recruit the prisoners to fight fire in California, and you were on the front lines and doing 24-hour shifts.
And one thing, they didn't recruit me. They forced me.
They forced you.
I told them I didn't want to go to fight fires.
Right.
But they essentially told me you are going to have to
Yeah.
go, or we're going to keep you at a maximum security facility, and we're not going to allow you to go to
Right.
a lesser. But yeah, go ahead.
So, knowing that you were out there fighting fires on the front line, and, people, get injured and they get killed. And also the training was so brutal. Farron, you'd tell me about what you're climbing up these mountains without a rope because they forgot. It was a lot to handle.
And let me just say one thing so people don't get it. There's a lot of good things that come out of being an inmate firefighter, but there's
Yeah.
also a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
And so I think just people having more awareness of the fact that there are inmate firefighters is
Yeah.
definitely important.
One thing that I liked about firefighting was visiting. We didn't have to, I didn't get accused of wearing metal wire bra and then they would try to arrest me. It was in a park area. We got to bring food in, but they still didn't like you and they still didn't trust me.
That's absolutely.
That was, interesting.
And I maybe we'll share that story later. They had some reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
not
yeah,
to
yeah.
trust you and not to like me.
Oh boy.
But they
Oh,
were
God.
but they were zealous though. but we'll share that story with you guys later.
Oh, I don't know if I can share that. I don't want to, seriously, I don't,
It's a-
I
it's
don't,
a-
I don't want to
it's
get
a-
arrested.
yeah.
All these years later, oh my God, someone needs to go. Here's the best thing is, it was actually difficult but healing. I wrote a book about Farron's journey behind bars, being a prison mom, and also fighting fire on the front lines. It's Fireheart is the title, and it's on Amazon right now. They're talking about maybe, this would be a great movie, but we'll see. So anyway, much love if you buy the book. It would really help us on our next journey.
It's an incredible story, and I'm also honored that my mother wrote it, and I'll be honored if you guys would read it. And if you get a paperback and you can get it to me and you want that signature, I'm not a celebrity yet, but thanks to Mom.
And my what about my signature? I am a
Oh
celebrity.
yeah, she's the author. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
wrote the book. Anyway, go out and buy the book.
But I think this should be a podcast because I actually like talking about my experiences
I do
or
too.
our experiences.
We didn't mean for this to be a podcast, but I think starting today, we're going to call it Prison Mom.
Prison Mom?
Yeah.
I like that.
Right on.
Right on, Mom.
Love you.
Love you too.
The entire world is aware of the fires spreading across Los Angeles right now. But there's one little secret that many people may not be aware of. Many of the brave men and women on the fire's front lines are inmates.
Right now, more than 1,000 inmates are on the ground in Southern California, also trying to put out these flames.
My name is Julie Kidd, and I am the mother of a biracial son who served over 10 years in prison for a robbery he was convicted of. While incarcerated, he was forced into the inmate firefighter program at a time when California was forced to release tens of thousands of prisoners due to illegal overcrowding. During my visits with my son, he would share his incredible stories with me. Some of them are inspiring, and some are shocking and admittedly controversial. Considering all the things that have been exposed over the last several years, my son's testimony that sometimes inmate firefighters were required to keep the wildfires burning for profits doesn't seem so far-fetched. And I'm glad that all those years ago, I didn't fail to write down his experiences. If you'd like to learn more about this subject and spread awareness, my book is titled Fireheart. It's available on Amazon right now in paperback or ebook.